There's one UX part that I think is a big improvement, and maybe you can explain better than me. The idea that I don't need to keep a seed phrase anymore. This can be managed by the smart contract somehow. Can you explain this?
Yeah, so in a way, since the externally owned account like delegates to a contract, there is still like a private key somewhere that controls the externally owned account. And in fact, the externally owned account can still revoke the delegation at any point. So you might still have like a seed phrase that you want to keep so that you have access to this. But once you delegate functionality to this smart contract account, what you can do is have the smart contract account authentify the interactions that happen on chain for you. So you can use, for instance, something like passkey,
Mm-hmm.
which is a different way of signing than like using the ECBSA private key. You can have, as part of a smart contract account functionality, something like social recovery, where you have some kind of multi-sig that allows to recover like the contract itself. And so indeed, like from the perspective of a user, let's say in the background, some EOA is created for them and that EOA deploys like a delegated smart contract. The user in a sense doesn't need to necessarily worry about the EOA itself, and all of its interaction with like its account can go through the smart contract and can go through these better UX functionalities of having the ability to use different types of authentications.
And this is still as safe as keeping my private key for myself? Like, do I have to worry about exposing it?
I think as long as the smart contract you're delegated to has been like sufficiently verified, that it's not something that has a backdoor or that can get bricked at any point in time. That's also why I think people are not every single person who's using this makes up their own like delegated smart contract. Like there's a few reference implementation. One, Uniswap has like the toolkit that they have open sourced to build like these types of things. MetaMask has its own implementation, etc. So as long as you use like things that have been audited, verified, I think you should feel fairly confident that you can recover like through the smart contract itself.
So if you're a relatively naive user, how would you suggest judging whether something has been appropriately verified?
Right. I think it's you have to talk about like what category of user am I. So I think when I start like in crypto and maybe I'm choosing like a wallet, if that's even something that users do, because now often they just use the app and the app creates the wallet for them. So yeah, hopefully like the information is sufficiently mediated that if I come into a new app, I maybe the wallet gets created for me. I can go in the docs and see, what is the app using? Like, are they using like some components of the reference implementation? I do rely to some extent on the app being probably honest with me and telling me what's behind it. Other than that, I do think there's like more literacy that will be required and more knowledge around like the state of wallets and everything. So like L2Bit, what they do like for rollups. Recently, the EF has given like a grant to something called WalletBit, which intends to do kind of the same thing, but for wallets. And so there you could see like, for instance, these are like all the parts that have been audited. Like a wallet is also many different things. Like it's not just this delegation to smart contracts, like it's a lot of other features. And so that could be like a bit of a shelling point for people to find information on, okay, if I want to make sure that the thing I'm using is like safe, I can go to this one place and I don't have to have like custom behavior for every single thing that I use that's different.